Natsuki Subaru woke the same as any other day, except a voice was in his head. After forming the contract with Echidna, she's been able to communicate with him through sound waves, and she can watch everything he does through the black crystal pendant hanging from his neck. With Echidna's help, Subaru was able to save the sanctuary, pass the trials, and protect everyone he cares about. But that didn't come without a cost. She was a perverse, demonic figure that exuded a sensation of inescapable ruin and destruction, but Subaru still found it difficult to be afraid of her. There was a sudden knock on Subaru's door, but having repeated this loop already, he knew exactly who it was. Right on schedule, Petra says good morning and explains that she's got plans to go shopping this afternoon. However, she doesn't know if the weather will be nice enough. They chat for a bit longer, and then Subaru visits the courtyard where Garfield was sparring with Reinhardt. The thought of Reinhardt as an enemy gave Subaru the chills, and that's exactly why Subaru secretly led him to join the Amelia camp about a year ago. Subaru caused Reinhardt to feel depressed and out of place. With nowhere else to turn, he accepted Subaru's offer to support Amelia, but after being abandoned by Felt, Reinhardt was never the same. Because of his childhood trauma, Garfield was miserable as well, but instead of working through his trauma and solving the problems within his heart, Roswaal and Subaru excluded him entirely.
Hey, Beatrice. Sorry to intrude.
Beatrice said nothing and sat in a corner with her forehead pressed to her knees. In the past, she might have greeted Subaru with some form of insult, but now she wouldn't say anything at all. Up until this point, Beatrice had dedicated her entire life to her contract. But now, that contract was broken, and so was Beatrice. In a deep depression, Beatrice spent the rest of her days incessantly sobbing, with a non-existent will to live. Subaru wrapped his arms around her to comfort her shivering body without knowing that he was really the one searching for comfort. Amelia was so different from before because what she saw in the trial brought back painful, repressed memories that continue to haunt her relentlessly. And because Subaru took the trials for her, she was never able to overcome her traumatic past, resulting in an unstable, incomplete version of Amelia that was now entirely dependent on Subaru. He couldn't help but wonder if perhaps Amelia would have been better off without him. Whether or not he made the right decision was a question that constantly plagued Subaru throughout his daily life. Echidna would offer him reassurance, but it was never enough. The possibility of regretting something was terrifying to Subaru.
Oh, Elsa. You were outside earlier, right? How was the weather out there?
Elsa replied that the weather was fine, and Subaru nodded in confirmation, and then asked her for another small favor.
I see. Thank you. Now, please take your knife and lop off my head.
Subaru's blood sprayed across the room and his consciousness faded away. With his final thoughts, he felt sympathy for whichever maid would have to clean up the mess. Once again, Petra knocks on the door and says good morning to Subaru. And just like in the previous loop, explains that she has plans to go shopping this afternoon but doesn't know if the weather will be nice enough. However, this time, Subaru has a proper response for her.
Rest assured, Petra. The weather's going to be nice today, so you don't need to worry.
And that was the response he had died for. With all the afflictions and hardships that Subaru went through, he was unconsciously led to rely on the witch. And with Subaru's return by death ability at her disposal, Echidna held the world in her palm.
You truly are someone who can satisfy me.
His suffering would become her satisfaction. And that was the witch's love.
Ah, even so, why must love always fade?
hell are you looking so spaced out for?
You don't understand what's going on here, huh? Why don't we make him find out?
I'm sorry. Now, do you realize how many times I've met you guys total? Idiot. Good for you. And your share is always increasing. You're meant to laugh.
Темная ночь, только пули свистят по
When Subaru first arrives in Lagunica, he's visibly prideful. He runs around like an idiot trying to cast magic spells, and he assumes that the alley thugs he runs into are just low-level NPCs that he can one-shot with his S-tier combat strength. He later ends up disappointed when he finds out he's just about as useless as he was in Japan, but like we saw, when Subaru realized he was powerless, he swallowed his pride and cried out for the guards when he needed help. That's why he was able to survive. Reinhardt appeared and saved the day because Subaru was humble enough to admit to his own vulnerability. This doesn't happen. Subaru doesn't call out for someone to save him. Even when faced with danger, Subaru's too prideful to ask for help, and that very pride is what ends up corrupting him, leading him down a much darker path. Stuck in a seemingly endless loop, Subaru started losing his mind. Exiting the alleyway, Subaru runs into Emilia. Subaru knows that Emilia will eventually die if he doesn't do something about it, so he vows to her, "No matter what, I will save you." Subaru still determines to save her, despite knowing he's failed to do so a total of 87 times. His 87 attempts to stop Elsa have resulted in 87 failures. To Subaru, Elsa was an unbeatable opponent. He eventually realizes that no amount of trial and error could stop her, so he finally gives in and decides to ask the city guards for help. Sitting on a rooftop, Subaru watches from above as Elsa slaughters the guards with ease, reaffirming Subaru's impression that Elsa is just invincible. But all of a sudden, Reinhardt shows up to save the day. This was actually the first time Subaru had ever seen Reinhardt. Staring at the loot house, Subaru says out loud, "Why don't you guys teach me?" And then turns around to face the several silhouettes standing behind him. All of their eyes looked insane and dead, and Subaru suspected that if he had a mirror, his eyes would appear the same. As time went on, Subaru amassed a group of accomplices who helped him achieve many of his goals. He eventually eliminated each one of the Sin Archbishops, passing along the credit of their defeat to the Emilia camp. But that still wasn't enough to win Emilia the throne. To guarantee her victory, Subaru would need to become the ultimate villain and then allow Emilia to defeat him, making her the ultimate hero. To accomplish this, Subaru would first need to eliminate every other villain to assure that he was the ultimate one. Then, he would need to eliminate every other hero to make sure that Emilia was the ultimate one. So Subaru continued down his path of murdering innocents and committing atrocities and slowly whittled away at the other candidates, the witch cult, and anything else that stood in Emilia's way. This continued until there was only one person remaining for Subaru to kill. The capital is on fire. To get here, it took him over 10,000 loops. Every horrible thing he did was necessary to bring him to this very point.
If you must resent someone, let it be me.
I don't resent anyone, Reinhardt. Especially you. You are a true hero, and that is all you can be.
Не заставляй меня смеяться, Рейнхард. Ты — святой меча, защитник королевства, рыцарь, охраняющий Лугунику. Где? Что ты там смог защитить? Расскажи-ка мне, Рейнхард. Он поднял руки вверх, крича. Сейчас они были за воротами во дворец. Все в столице было охвачено пламенем. Это мой...
That's enough, villain.
Amelia,
How do you know who I am?
right now, what I'm about to tell you is everything what a crazy rambling person would say. Just forget about it. Right now, the one who set the nation on fire is me! No one had any complaints. And I made this fire for you.
Burning the country? You're burning the country?
No, you're wrong. I'm doing this to make you the ruler. It's the only single way how. Watch me, Amelia! See me! Detest me! Burn me into your memory!
Who in the world even are you?
My name is Subaru Natsuki!
Subaru?
The witch is called Sin Archbishop, representing pride! Natsuki Subaru!
Archbishop?
The one who burnt the world. The one who rocked the country. The one who killed the hero. And the man you will kill.